Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Friday Frolics. It's been a great week. We haven't had rain all week. We've only had a couple of days this week and then only spotty showers. So it's been more of a normal week weather-wise. It's been hot and humid, but that's the way Virginia is in the summertime. And I can handle the heat mainly because I stay in most of the time. I don't do any work outside when it's hot like this. But like today, I'm going to have to cut my grass. But we've got some construction going on. I think I mentioned it earlier. I don't hear any trucks this morning, so they must be off on Fridays. But they usually start at 7 o'clock, backing up big dump trucks all the way up the road. And it goes on all day. And now there's these huge, and I mean huge, like 15 feet square and about 12 feet tall concrete things sitting. Well, technically it's in my front yard, but it's also the utility easement, so they've got the right to use it. And evidently it's the drain and the sewer and all that goes under the streets that we don't know about. We just look out and think it's asphalt on top of dirt, and then it's not. It's all kinds of stuff underneath that street. But they are digging things up and then putting new stuff in, and they're at like 2 houses up from me now. So next week they're going to be right here in my yard. But that's okay. You know, progress or maintenance, I guess it is. It's not progress. They need to maintain things. You know, I was just looking at the news about the bridge collapse in Italy, that killed dozens of people. And we've got bridges that are in the same shape, and nobody's doing anything about it because they've got to wait for budgets and for, the government to get involved and get approval and this and that and the other when the bridges need to be fixed, or we can have a disaster like that right here. It wouldn't surprise me. But got my hair cut. Boy, I have the worst time. I love my hairdresser. She's such a fun person. And I mean, she's, excuse me, she's not my age. She's younger than me, but she's a lot like me, and we laugh and we joke and we carry on. We have the best time. But she has the worst time. I told her I wanted my bangs left long, but I wanted the top short. Well, she doesn't seem to be able to get that done right. Every time I tell her, well, this right here needs to be a little bit shorter, she starts here cutting back. She uses a razor, and she goes back. But when she does that, she's shortening my bangs. And so I have no bangs. Look at that. They're just little, I don't know what you call them. But, I either have to change hairdressers, which I hate to do, and she gives me a decent price. And she's really, like I say, a fun person. I like her a lot. I've gone to her for a while, and I really don't want to change. I just wish I could get it through to her not to touch the bangs when she makes the rest of it shorter. But it is really short. I mean, it is really short. Can hardly even grasp this on the sides. It's like close to my head. But anyway, it's hair. It'll grow. I'm not worried about it. Heard the sad news yesterday about Aretha Franklin, and I just haven't. I know she's been out of the spotlight for a while because she's been sick. She's had pancreatic cancer. But she has been, she can sing from the heart. She's got a gospel background. And so she started, with the gospel songs and then migrated into other songs. But every song that she did had such a deep meaning. Like RESPECT, that kind of goes along with what do they call this movement, with the Me Too movement? All she wanted was a little respect. And You made me a natural woman. I mean, come on. She was so ahead of her time. And she's been such an inspiration to so many other artists. And so I'm sad that she's gone, but I'm glad she's no longer suffering, because pancreatic cancer, I understand, can be pretty rough. So let's see, what have you done this week? I wish y'all could talk back to me. If I thought enough people would be here to chat with, I would do an online chat. But I'm sure that's, I've tried it once and I think I had 2 people. And so I'm not going to do that. But sometimes I like to ask you questions and get your answers, but I can't do that when it's recorded. But anyway, I do have something I want to show you. I've mentioned these before, but this is the bottom of a soda can. See how this goes in? It's, I don't know how to show you how it goes in. Well, on the inside, it makes a nice little dome, which is perfect to bake beads on. So I learned this from, well, actually several people online do it, but the video that I watched was Patricia Roberts Thompson. And she cuts off the top of a soda can, leaves about, what is that, about a 1/2 inch or so. And then she slices down to the rim. Again, about every 1/2 inch, doesn't matter. I'm going to just do one for you. I've got a bunch of them here to do. I had to go out. I don't drink soda normally. So I had to go out and buy me something. I ended up buying some root beer. I like root beer. And there's no caffeine. Anyway, there we go. I've cut this all the way around. And then all you do is just fold this down. And that way you don't cut yourself when you use it. They don't have to be perfect. Sorry, I have to hold it up high when I'm using this camera. I just looked and saw you weren't seeing a thing. Let's see, just fold them down. And there you've got a nice little thing for your beads. Just, if you want a curved bead. And I guess there's 12 in the carton of, I think that's the smallest you can get anymore is 12. I believe it's 12. It's either, yeah, I think it's 12. So I'll have 12 of these when I'm finished. But that's just a nice little extra thing that, wasn't worth doing a whole video on. But it's something that you can see, how to make a little thing for a cheap, if you drink canned sodas, just save your cans. Cut them off with a pair of scissors and then trim around it about a 1/2 inch tall. And just, that's it. Cut your slits and fold them down and you're ready to go. So let's see, other than that little tip, I got a good response from my pumpkin cane tutorial on Monday. Everybody seemed to really like that. So I did another cane using the same colors. And it's not a pumpkin, it's something different. And it's all ready to go. I just uploaded it last night and it's ready for you on Monday. So I hope you like that as much as you like the pumpkin. Let's see what else is going on. I've been finagling, trying to get my credit information together. I have four credit cards, I believe. Yes, 4 credit cards, which is better. I used to carry like 8 or 9, but I'm down to 4 credit cards and I'm working on paying those off. But I've got one card, my Wells Fargo card, which the interest, when I first got it for years, the interest was only 3.5%. and it has gone up to 5% now. But you can't get 5% credit cards anymore. So I'm going to be using that. I hate to even say anything because you know how hard up I am for money, but I do have that credit card. But I'm seriously thinking about going to Phoenix in October for Richard's relaunch. Yeah. His non-compete clause is going to be over, in October, and he's going to be releasing stamps and dies and all kinds of other products. I know he's going to have some splashes. He's going to have some twine, things like that. But he's having like a kickoff of the new RG Studio 360. And I'm hoping that I can go. I don't know. I've got one of you, and you know who you are, one of my BFFs, is also following Richard, and she lives in California, and I'm in Virginia, so we'll probably never, ever meet. But we're thinking about going and rooming together so we can meet each other, talk about clay, talk about cards, talk about whatever we want to talk about. So I'm looking forward to that, but it's going to take some finagling with my money. Everybody knows I go to the beach in September with my sister, and I've been putting aside money every month so that when the beach time comes, I'm ready to go. I've got my money put away, and it doesn't hurt so bad when I do it a little at a time. And we got a really good deal this year on our lodging for our trip. So I'm going to have some of that money left over. And I've got, all of my Amazon money and my Play money is going into my savings account, which is where I'm getting the money for the beach and hopefully for this trip. I do not use my Patreon money for that. I want to let you know the Patreon money goes directly to something to help me with my polymer clay tutorials. The next purchase I think I'm going to make for them is to get some good lighting, because that seems to be one of my big problems, is not good lighting. So I'm going to get some good lighting. They're on my Amazon wish list and on my Amazon page, but it's a little bit much for people. They run about $65, $70, something like that. So that's going to be the next big purchase, because it'll help me with my videos if I have some really good lighting. So I've got that going on. There's just so much going on, but I'm really excited. I know a lot of you have seen the press out about Richard, and I just want you to know, don't believe what you read. A lot was done and a lot was said in order to release him from his non-compete clause that was 3 years long. And they forced him to say and do some things that he didn't want to do, but he had to do that in order to be able to support his family, because paper crafting is all he knows. It's all he's done for so many years. And so, if you haven't watched any of Richard's videos, please do. He's such an open, honest person. And he's a very faithful man. He's got a lot of faith. And he and his family attend church regularly, and they're all just wonderful people. And I've met them before. I've only met Gabby once. I've met his children once, but I've met Richard several times. And I've been supporting him all along, and he wants to do some special thanks to people that have been supporting him. And from what I understand, the goodie bags that we're getting at this conference or this relaunch so far has over $500 worth of stuff in it. So I'm really anxious. It's going to be some of his stuff that's in his new line, plus he's got sponsors, and they've donated things. So I'm really, really anxious to go and just, be in it. This will probably be the only time I'll ever go. I went to the Fun Stampers Journey convention one time, and I knew that that would probably be the only time I would go. But that's everybody needs to do these things once. If you're involved in any kind of company, you need to do it at least once. And so this, I talked it over with my daughter. She said maybe she and her brothers could pitch in and help me with some of the expenses. And, instead of doing Christmas, they could give me money early to help everything. Everything is pretty reasonable except the airfare. The airfare from Virginia to Phoenix is just ridiculous. So that's what I'm struggling with is the airfare. So if any of you have any frequent flyer miles you'd like to donate, I would love to have them. I don't know how that works. I just thought about that, but that would be awesome. But anyway, I don't think there's anything else. Please, another way you can help me, I've still got 2 D-Stash videos out there. One is for my bracelets and one is for my necklaces. I would love, love, love to be able to sell some of those things to help finance my trip. So hopefully everything's going to work out. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and I just won't go. But, I'm really hoping I can. So everyone, have a marvelous week. Oh, another thing. I met my son's girlfriend last week. He's got a new girlfriend. She's sweet. She really is. Seemed to be a little bit shy around me. I mean, she just met me. And, when you're an adult and you meet your adult boyfriend's mother, it can be intimidating. So I understand her reluctance to warm up to me right off because she doesn't know me. She has no idea who I am. And but it was fun. But she even went with us to my nephew's birthday party on Sunday afternoon. So that was fun. So he turned 8. It's my sister's grandson. So he's my great nephew. But it's just been a fun week. Really enjoyed this week. So I will be back again next Friday for another Friday Frolics. And don't forget, check with me on Monday. Check right here on Monday for my next tutorial. I hope you like it. So talk to you soon. Bye-bye.